morning, guys. And it is morning. I think it's like 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. I'm Stephanie. Welcome to my health, wellness, tea, things that smell good, planning, whatever I feel like talking about channel. I'm sitting in my living room. I'm whispering because there are people asleep, but I wanted to come to you with this video from upstairs instead of downstairs from my office. Just felt like the right energy to talk about what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna have a sip of coffee and we'll get into it. Okay, it's August, you guys. And I have been checking in once a week to talk about sort of my progress with my own planning for my life and things, directions that I want to take and things I want to accomplish. And I'm just sidebar, I promise I'm coming back with some candle and tea content and that kind of thing because I know I have followers who are interested in that. I'm waiting for the candle companies to release their next kind of wave of stuff. I'm waiting for the tea companies to acknowledge that it's fall coming. So I'm just kind of in this holding pattern. But what I wanted to talk to you today about is that the phase I'm in right now, I'm calling Introvert August. And I'm realizing it takes sometimes real, I don't want to say fight because that's an aggressive word, but being steadfast in what you want to accomplish in your life and what your priorities are in the face of all the stuff swirling around. So I just want to talk to you about that for a second, okay? This month have really been listening to my inner voice, and my inner voice has said that I want to be quiet and introverted and really just centered and grounded. You know, I'm curating my life a little bit more. I'm really looking at some places that my time and energy has gone, and some of it is to people who are needing constant energy, those people who need constant energy, and some people, they are worth it in your life and you pour yourselves into them and you love them and you give yourself to them and they're important to you. But there are other people where you have to ask yourself, like, is this a good presence in my life? Is this something that's moving my life forward? Is it not just that people are there to feed you? I don't mean that. It's just I've started to really pay attention to when I'm with people, how I feel afterwards. Do I feel refreshed and invigorated and ready to fight another day, or do I have to like heal after talking to somebody because they've just taken so much of me? And I had a recent experience where I realized that somebody that I was sort of trying to distance myself from a bit has broken off a friendship with me. And I had to kind of sit with that and realize that, okay, my actions have consequences. This person has noticed I'm no longer giving them what they need from a friend, and that's hard to admit. I'm being a bad friend to this person because what they need, I'm not giving anymore. And because of that, they've decided they don't want to connect with me anymore at all. And, they basically unfriended me on Facebook. And that's like, I don't care that much because I'm almost never on Facebook, and so that's fine. And that's one of the things, guys, is that the last couple of years I really haven't been, like, I've been on YouTube, but I have not been on social media that much. And it does mean that I am able to focus more on myself and what is actually around me physically and what matters in my life. But it also means that I'm not keeping up with some of the people in my life who are more peripheral. I'm not keeping up with what's going on in their lives. And that's losing something, This is the problem. When you choose to where to direct your energy, you are going to lose out on some things. There are things that you have to put down. And this particular connection with somebody is something that I had to put down and just decide that, I wish you well. And this was a season that we had in our lives. And it was hard for me because I'm usually somebody who gets along with everybody. I'm always adjusting myself to get along, and to consider everybody else's how they're feeling, and making sure I'm not rocking the boat too much. And I guess I rocked the boat a little bit. But at the same time, I connected with another friend who basically within 5 minutes of that other experience, this other friend was like, "Hey, do you want to get together?" And I said, "You know what? I'm in introverted August. I really want to see you. Can we wait until the fall? Because I'm just tired right now and I'm needing to refresh." And that friend totally got it. And they were like, "You know what? That's awesome. That's cool. It's eclipse season, whatever. Like, you be you and I'll be here when you're ready to hang out." That's the person I need in my life, That's the person who gets me and can let me be myself and isn't needing me to deplete myself for their needs. So that one's a keeper. And I just wanted to talk about that for a minute before I talked about other things going on. Okay. Putting all of that aside, if you're still here, I am really going to focus this year on the seasons again. I feel like last year was really hard for my family. We were really struggling financially, and I just didn't have the energy left over from that to put into making seasonal memories and celebrating, the circle of the year and all of these things. Christmas kind of just felt like a stressful thing where we were just making it about what other people wanted. And fall, I don't even know what happened. I basically skipped Halloween completely. And this year I'm connecting more with what the seasons mean to me. Like, I want to enjoy celebrations again, but I want to do it in a way that makes it about what they mean to me and what I need from them. One of the things I've been thinking about recently is the upcoming pagan celebration of Mabon, which I'm just learning about. If there are Christians in the audience, don't be offended, I come in peace. But probably if I identify with anything, it is in the sort of, I identify with traditions that worship nature, I guess. And I feel that within myself, and I recognize that in others. And I just want to explore that a bit more, like through art or just through small little rituals, or just, touching a tree and saying thank you. There's no harm in that. And I want to approach that more. I want to create some new traditions for myself, if that makes sense. So that might be something I talk about in my fall cozy list this year, is some of those things that I'm thinking about. We'll see. And Christmas, the last couple of years, Christmas has been a mess, and it's just a family going through transition, a family going through various pain points, not just me, other people. And I think I want to love on those people and let them know that I'm thinking about them and care about them. But I also want to give myself space to celebrate the fact that we made it through this past really hard year. Make new traditions that have to do with having adult children in my house now, and what that looks like and what that means. When you're an adult, you have to give these things to yourself. Nobody comes along anymore and gives you the celebration. And within that comes effort. And I think I'm ready to make a little bit of effort again. That is directly related to having energy that rises up from cutting off some of the other things that were draining me. Does that make sense to you? I see it very clearly now, the intentionality of making space in my life and choosing where that energy is going to go. So that's where I want my energy to go in the fall. The other thing, I've been hesitant of how to articulate this because I talk about health and fitness on this channel a lot. There's a ovarian cancer walk I do every year, and this year it's coming right at the end of September. My mom passed away from ovarian cancer, and I've had another family member as well, and I've had other friends who've battled that disease. And so I guess in the way that it does, that has been sort of a theme. And so every year that walk is quite emotional for me, but also a way to remember my mom. So we don't overdo it, you know. We just kind of quietly go and we have a day to remember that person in our lives. But I really this year have been making some health strides, and I've talked about that in other videos. Really fighting to get my cholesterol down. I'm really fighting to get my fitness back. I'm fighting to make sure that I'm correcting some of the age-related things that have started happening to me. And I've been doing great, you guys. I have the last couple of months, and I don't even have like exact timelines. The last couple of months, I've really been fighting to get my fitness in check. I have been changing some of the things that I'm eating. I'm reducing saturated fat. I'm eating more fiber. Just really paying attention to the amount of food that I'm taking in. I took my measurements the other day, and I have lost, drumroll, an inch and a half off of my hips, an inch off of my arms, an inch off of my thighs, and like 4 inches off of my waist, you guys, since I have started down that path, which shows that I'm making incredible strides in hopefully switching out fat for some muscle in my body. The thing is, I've only lost 3 pounds in that time because, you know, this is my body. My body will not adhere to timelines for losing scale weight because it's doing other things. But I think that those measurements, and I'm so glad that I took them, those measurements clearly indicate, and I can feel it in my body, that I am making health related changes, right? So why did I bring up the ovarian cancer walk? Because it would mean a lot to me to honor my mom on that day by being in a really, really physically healthy place. It's often been, I've been doing that walk for over 10 years, and it's often been a place where I have marked where I'm at for my health, right? I remember when I was postpartum doing that walk. Gosh, I've really been doing that walk for a long time. It's been longer than 10 years. It's been probably like 16 years. So I remember being postpartum and finally losing the last of my baby weight, which was probably the kid was 2. And I remember doing that walk with my mom when she was still here and being like, wow, I lost the postpartum weight. Okay, so, and I remember other years when I've done that and I've been like, oh, I'm not feeling healthy in my body during this walk. I'm actually finding this walk a bit, you know, challenging, or I'm just not feeling good in my skin, or like the t-shirt that I wear every year is a bit tight. Do you know what I mean? Do you guys have anything where like there's a certain time of year, maybe it's the vacation that you go on, where you're like, you check in with your body and you're like, do I feel good in my body in this moment? Comment below if you do. I don't know if this is just a me thing, but I think it's also because I have a picture taken every year with my family, and so there's like this, you know, horrifying recording of my weight fluctuations and my aging happening. You could practically do some kind of scary time lapse. Circling back to my point, Stephanie, let's take a sip of coffee. I would love to say hey, I'm going to be at my goal weight by that walk. Okay. It's like 7 weeks from now. Hey, my goal weight is like 6 pounds away. Let's be at that goal weight by that walk. I would love to say that. The way my body reacts to my fitness and my exercise and my eating, I've recognized in my great maturity that I don't necessarily have control over what the scale is going to do when I'm getting healthier. Because I think I've actually gained some muscle. And so the scale's only gone down 3 pounds, even though I've seen great changes in my body. So how do I measure? I want to have some kind of accomplishment 7 weeks from now, where I feel like I have hit some kind of goal. And I can't count on it being weight, even though I'm going to do all the things. I am counting my calories. I'm being consistent. I've found this sort of sweet spot in my eating where I know that changes will happen and it's not too onerous and I can still have the occasional cookie. Okay. I'm just gonna, this is coming into my head right now because I'm like, how do I measure? I can't control over which part of my body inches come off of. What I can say is that 7 weeks from now, I want to be able to do at least one push-up on my toes. Right now, I've been doing pretty good on the knee push-ups. My shoulders are, I have to be careful with them, dude. I injure them all the time, and it's often doing push-ups. I have to go really slow. But I would like to say that I could do one push-up on my toes in 7 weeks from now. That gives me a concrete goal. Gives me something to push for. The other thing I would like to be able to do is to do one actual burpee. So right now I do like, I sort of step out my burpees. Like I go down, I step out, I step out, I step in, I step in. It's because I'm being careful with my knees and my ankles that again, I hurt all the time because I'm over 50 and you hurt your joints sleeping. I'd like to be able to do one real burpee. Okay. Those things would show me that I have increased in fitness. Let's start with that. Okay, I think that those are reasonable goals in 7 weeks. And I would love to say that I've lost another 3 pounds in that 7 weeks. I think that's possible. You know, and I'm just going to say the number out loud. I'd like to be 157 pounds or less. Because I've been maintaining like 159, 160 forever. How am I going to accomplish that? First off, I'm going to stick with the caloric points that I want to stick with. Okay. They're working for me. I like having the tangible information. I keep going, oh, I should switch to this and switch to this. But it's like, no, what I'm doing is working. It's just freaking slow. So slow and steady. There are only 2 times in the next 7 weeks that I am allowed to stray from this plan. The first is I'm going to this killer lake party. I think it's on Labor Day weekend. I have promised my friends I am cabbing it that night. And there's going to be a couple of like hard iced teas. And I'm just going to let loose because I want to feed the friendships that I care about keeping. And this is my moment to connect with all of those people, have a giggle, be a little silly, let off some tension. Okay. The other one is that at some point, my friends want to get together. It's a friend's housewarming. Could be a brunch, could be a dinner. I very much know it's a friend's birthday. I very much know I won't have control over the food that's being eaten in that moment. I want to eat everybody's food. I also have a friend who's a professional baker or was a professional baker who always makes an epic cake. I am eating a piece of that cake. Those are the 2 times. The other times I'm meeting with my brother at a restaurant. I can have a salad with some chicken on top and some like sparkling water. You know, those are times that are within my control. But these 2 times I'm allowed to do it. I'm going to report back in on that. Okay. I'm going to report back in on the burpee push-up progress, and how I'm doing sticking to that. And that is a little mini health and fitness goal for the fall. And I'm going to work on celebrating fall in a cozy, warm, celebratory way that shows my gratitude for the things that I have. All right, this video is too long. Thanks for listening. Have a great Tuesday. Bye.